What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to be talking about the basics of the game, generally how you can get better characters, how you can sort of get farther in the app, and as a whole, what you want to be doing when you first start out the game. Let's get right into it. So first off, let's just jump into a quest. I've been grinding some quests lately. I've been doing this one in particular on super difficulty to go ahead and rank up very quickly. First and foremost, you definitely want to be ranking up as quick as humanly possible. There's no reason to be a lower rank early on in the game or late in the game. I mean, there's just no reason to be. So we're going to go ahead and just start off a match, and I will talk about sort of the basics of it moving forward. So right off the bat, you see you're on sort of a board game type field, and you have these little orange buttons that you can press. That's going to put you certain amounts of steps along the board. So we see here that we have these question mark spots that you can go on. We also have this little blue capsule. So I'm going to go on the little blue capsule because the question marks can actually do a sort of attack on you, okay? So like this little like meteor will like fly out of the air, and then it'll take away some of your HP, and that can be more and more significant moving forward. Then we're going to go ahead and get a purple capsule. Basically, blue capsules are support items, red capsules are training items, and purple capsules are awakening medals. And they're all good, so just go ahead and take those given the opportunity, unless there's a specific thing you're going for when you want to go ahead and jump on those question mark spots. Now, moving along, just taking a look at the board, you can sort of scroll around and check it out. I don't see that there are any things in particular we're going for right now. There are no gold medals, there are no gold support items, and no gold training items. So we're just going to be moving along the map here with really just the only purpose of getting to the end. Now we've come to a crossroads, and you can check both sides to see how far you're going to go. We're going to go to the right side there, and then we've got a couple one there. We can go ahead and get a bronze awakening medal, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. We'll just jump on Baba here. Baba is the little witch sitting on the orb there, so you can go ahead and get free, well, basically free support items. I mean, 9,400 Zenny, like at the beginning, that's going to seem like a lot, but as you guys can see, I have over 32 million, almost 32.5 million Zenny, and that definitely just continues to compile as you're grinding ranks. So we're going to go ahead and take that. We got a nice little Baba support item, so that's great. It's actually a very useful item, so I'm pretty happy about that one. We're just going to jump forward because, you know, we might as well just take the training item, a super rare training item. Then we have just a normal awakening medal, which probably isn't going to be anything good. We'll jump forward here because those little targets, by the way, those little red targets will do damage as well. The little meteor will come down out of the sky and do some damage to you, so you don't want to do that given the opportunity. That said, we might go ahead and do that just to show you guys what it looks like. Now, the little icon here, that Zenny, that's the good currency you want to go ahead and get. And then that's like a key, okay? So it gives your certain character, a random character on your team, some key. And we'll go over that and what that means in just a minute. So we'll go ahead and get that Zenny right there. That's going to be 3155 Zenny, so that's pretty decent right there. And we'll just jump forward and grab a training item, and we'll go over the items and everything and what they mean in the future. But just know that that's what they are. You don't really want to avoid them. You want to go ahead and pick them up when you can. Now we are at the boss battle, the final battle you're going to do before you finish this given stage. And like, obviously, some of them are going to be harder than others. This one in particular is a pretty difficult one considering it's in the quest line. Now, there are quests and then there are events, and events are typically much more difficult than quests, but this one isn't as easy as some of them are. So basically, I've got a full-on team here, okay? You guys can see I've got Sin Shenron, and that's an orange one. That's a Phi type. Then we have Rose Goku, Extreme AGL, which is agility, or a blue type. And we have another Phi type that's full power Frieza. Then we've got, oh, the other one was our friend, Rose Goku, and then we'll talk a little bit about that in the future as well. But then we've also got Meta Rildo, and that's red or strength type. And then we've got two more Phi types. That's Goku Black, just normal. And then we've also got Broly. So that's a pretty decent team, a pretty okay villains team. And that's what I've been using to sort of grind ranks here. They're all URs, okay, which is the ultra rare rarity, okay? So that's something that you're going to have to use awakening medals to go ahead and get. But basically, you guys can see we've got a field of these little orbs, all right? So you can go ahead and use these orbs, and you'll get ki from it, and that'll make your characters either more powerful for their normal attack, or if you count it up and then it's actually going to put you over your super amount of ki, then you'll be able to use a super attack. And that's going to do a lot more damage and have like a really neat little animation there. So we're going up against Phi Broly here. As you guys can see off to the right side of the top right side of the screen there's a little circle that has a couple points on it, and that's going to be the Phi type. It is more effective, okay, on intelligence, which is purple, so orange goes to purple, and then that sort of dictates how good it's going to be against each other. It's just sort of a type effectiveness chart if you guys want to liken it to a sort of Pokemon scenario here. But basically, intelligence or the purple is going to be super effective on tech or the green, and then tech is going to be super effective on AGL or the blue, and then blue is going to be super effective on strength or red. So, and then vice versa. So you're going to see that Phi or orange is going to do less to strength or red, and then all the way around it'll do less damage. So you can sort of liken it to a super effective and not very effective type of situation, and that's just generally how it works. Now keep in mind that just because a character is going to be super effective on another character does not mean that it's going to do well against it. Basically, if you want to again liken it to a Pokemon sort of situation to understand it a little bit better, it's like you have like a level 50 going up against level 100. I mean, even if the level 50 is super effective on the level 100, odds are that the level 100 will still stomp it to pieces, and that definitely rings true in this as well. If you have a bunch of maxed out characters, they're going to hold their own against the weaker, less effective types, and vice versa. So we're going to go ahead and count up some ki here. So obviously I'm going to be able to go ahead and make Sin Shenron, the one on the left here, super. And by the way, you guys can move these all around to make your order different. That's more of an advanced concept, and there's a lot that goes into ordering your characters in a specific way that means that they rotate in the way that you want them to. So we'll talk about that in a future video should you guys want to see this in more depth. But basically, we're going to go ahead and take advantage of the supers that we can use right now. I'm going to go ahead and super with full power Frieza, and then we only need 4 for our Rose Goku, which is a powerhouse. This friend Rose Goku is a powerhouse. We're not going to be able to go ahead and super with Sin Shenron, but I don't know if that's really important right now, really. I mean, I'm going to win either way, so it's not that big of a deal. I probably, again, could do this better, and I probably will make mistakes in this video on the optimal placement and everything that I could be doing, but it's really not a big deal. That's not what the purpose of this video is, so we'll just go ahead and use one while we can. Then we're going to see the super attack from Full Power Frieza go off. Did a decent amount of damage there. We're going to eat a pretty heavy super attack from Broly. Now we're going to see the super attack from Rose go off. That's a friend Rose, which is not as powerful as my Rose, but will still get off a lot of damage. You saw an additional attack go off, which is another sort of advanced concept, if you want to call it that. We'll talk about hidden potential systems, additional attacks, crits, and all that in a future video, again, if you guys want it. So moving forward, you guys can see that we have super attacks going off already. That's because some of these characters have abilities that make them so they sort of synergize with each other, okay? And again, we'll talk more about that in the future. I know that's sort of becoming a broken record topic at this point, but it's definitely relevant. And we're going to be able to super attack with all of our characters right now very, very easily. But because of Goku Black, okay, because of Goku Black's ability, which is going to go down here, we'll see attack plus 2500 for every ki sphere obtained. So that's going to mean that we're going to want to give him as much ki as possible, even though he's already supering right now. So we'll just go ahead and give Rose just a quick one there to max him out, and then we're going to be able to take 3 ki right now and just throw it at him, or 1 burst and 2 ki rather. So that's going to give him a decent amount of damage right now. First off, we have Metarildo going in there. It's going to be 70,000 damage, and we're going to see Rose just take him out. So it doesn't even matter that Goku Black didn't even get as much as he could have. 377,000 damage is going to take him out. We're going to grab a Gold Awakening Medal and 43,000 Zenny. So again, like that 7,000 or whatever Zenny it was earlier, maybe it would have been a little bit more than that. I don't remember, that we gave Baba for that one item. Actually really doesn't mean anything. And then obviously all my characters are maxed out right now, but that's a lot of experience. So you definitely can expect to be getting a lot of that later on in the game. And I'm farming experience right now, so I'm going to go ahead and finish the mission, and now we're going to see all this nice experience. Right now we're getting bonus experience from all of our quests because it's just sort of a an event that's going on, okay? And we're going to get a ton of rank experience, and then you guys can see at the top of the screen there, the rank is 196, and then experience until next rank is 79,538. We're getting friend points from this, which is, again, something we'll cover very, very shortly. And then we got 75,000 Zenny. So again, lots of Zenny coming in here. And you use a lot of Zenny in the future, and we'll actually jump over to Awakenings in just a second that I can show you that you use that up very quickly. But it's still not a lot that you're going to be using up. And unless you're going to go ahead and spend a lot of money on this game, get a lot of characters and a lot of medals that you need to go ahead and use to awaken a lot of characters, okay? A lot. So let's go ahead and run over to summons and talk about friend points just a little bit. And we're not going to cover everything, obviously, today, guys. But I just wanted to cover a lot of the basics of the app that you're going to want to know just right off the bat when you're just getting into it. So, friend summons are basically free summons you get to do. If you guys scroll up to the top and everything, you're going to see there are multi-summons, and you use Dragon Stones, which is the paid premium currency, to go ahead and summon on those. You can actually buy those for the high rate of $32.99 at the moment, or $44.99 regularly, to get 91 Dragon Stones. So that's not even 2 multi-summons, which will give you 10 characters apiece, and you're not guaranteed really much of anything. I know it says 1 SR or higher guaranteed per multi-summon, but that really doesn't mean anything. I mean, the SRs are very rarely usable at any decently high tier play. So we're going to see, we got Dragonstone Summon, Dragonstone Summon, Dragonstone Summon, and then all of a sudden we got Friend Summon. Now, friend points are something that you get every single time you run through a quest with a friend. So that's going to be every single time you run through a quest. And you're going to get 50 every time you run through with just a random stranger, whatever friend unit you're going to get from them. And 100 every time you run through it with an actual friend that you friended and they friended you back and everything. So we're going to go ahead and do a friend summon, and I can talk to you guys a little bit about rarity. But basically, if we go to the Scouter, which is that little thing that I just clicked there, we're going to see that we want Android 17 and 18. That is the main banner unit that we want to go ahead and grab. We're going to see Hercule is another super rare we can grab here. A Hercule statue gold, which is an SSR, okay. And those you sell, that in particular you sell for 1 million Zenny, and then 500,000 Zenny for a silver statue, and then 250,000 for a bronze statue. So those are the ones that we want, but just particularly here, Android 17 and 18. So basically, you see the top left corner there, there's an N. That's basically just common. It's going to be the wimpy baby garbage that you're just going to throw away to train your units, and we'll talk about that shortly. But training units is something you're always going to want to have. Just basically garbage that you're going to throw into them to be able to train them. A lot of times you're only going to use one unit to train with, and then use a bunch of items and make it so it's a super success, which makes it so you get more experience. But basically, this one's actually level 20 out of 40. You can see that it's already been awakened because it's extreme int there instead of just int. And it's a rare when it's really just a common basic type of card. So that's pretty good. We'll go ahead and move on here. That's going to be probably another normal. Yeah, just a normal little common. You really don't want to pay any mind to these. You don't want to put anything into them at all because, well, there you go. We got another rare. That's cool. That's an extreme, so that's awakened. And then moving on, we got another extreme, which is another one that's awakened. So basically, these are going to be things that you're going to throw into your cards and make them more powerful because you have to actually kind of sacrifice them to train your other cards and make them better, level them up. So another common. We are not going to get any androids at this point. No super rares at this rate, that's for sure. Another awakened. Another awakened. Okay, so we got a decent amount of awakened ones in this particular summon, so that's kind of cool. I definitely will welcome that, but none of these are things that you're actually going to use on your team. Let me be very clear. These are all things that you're either going to be selling or you're going to go ahead and use them, train them, whatever you want to call it. Now that's going to be instant, and probably nothing here for the single summon. So yeah, that's going to be a Yamcha. That's nothing. So I just wanted to try to show you guys that. But basically, Android 17 and 18 are going to be awesome, awesome, awesome cards that you always want to keep, okay? Now, there's a reason for this, because you can go ahead and do something called awakening a card, okay? Now, this makes them more powerful a lot of the time, or all the time, basically. It makes them more powerful. In select cases, it'll make them weaker, but that's in a different sort of scenario we're not going to talk about in this video. But in this particular situation, they're going to become more powerful. So right here, if you click on them, you see all these awakening medals that I have, okay? So basically, you use up these medals. You collect them during normal gameplay and during some specified gameplay, and then you max out your character's levels, and then you can go ahead and awaken them by using all of these medals on your particular character that's maxed out level-wise and everything. Make sure before you try to like max out the level on a unit that it's going to actually be useful in the future, because I actually awakened some units and used up awakening medals that I probably shouldn't have used, because some units, some characters, some cards, whatever you want to call them, are very, very useless and you will never use them past a certain point in the game. Some, like this, are going to be useful at pretty much every point. We're not going to go ahead and awaken him right now, but I will awaken something else here. So this is actually a card that anyone can get from the quest line. You can farm all of these awakening medals, and now you guys are gonna lose it when I show you this. So every single one of these medals cost 1 million to go ahead and throw onto our actual cards. So that's going to be 5 million, and we're going to Dokkan awaken our character here. Now, Dokkan awakening, as you can see, is going to make all of his stats go down. You see it right here, and that only is going to happen temporarily, though, because he's currently level 80, and he needs to be leveled all the way back up, because he's going to be level 1 when we go ahead and Dokkan awaken him. So we're going to go ahead and Dokkan him. He's going to be reset to level 1, blah, 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 whatever. This is what it looks like. We got all of those farmed medals. That took me so long to farm those medals. It took me like a pretty decent amount of time. I was doing it while editing videos and everything, and it took so long. So he's going to go ahead and Dokkan awaken. He's going to turn from what he did look like to an SSR first off. That's better than what he was, but also is more powerful when he's maxed out level-wise and costs a little bit more for your team cost, which, again, we'll cover it later, but that's more of a team comp type of thing. But this is going to be an extreme tech unit, max super attack, because we farmed all of those characters. Super attack, another thing we need to discuss. So each character has a specific super attack. So we'll talk about Super Vegito, which has 1. Okay, so Super Vegito is a level 1 super attack. You can see it right here, okay? And we'll be able to go ahead and see that I can't go ahead and awaken him right now. However, I can go over to training, and even though he's maxed out level-wise, I do have some characters that will go ahead and 100% have a 100% chance to increase his super attack level. So let's say we want to increase it by 1. I'm not going to, but if you actually use these Elder Kais or a exact duplicate of a given character on that character for a training partner, then it will increase the super attack level by 1, or in some select cases it'll be a little bit less than that if you have one that's going to be a farmable super attack character, so like Goku Black or Buhan, which again, I know a lot of you guys that are watching this probably have no idea what that means, but in the future that will make much more sense. I just want to note really quick that you guys see a lot of my cards are actually max level right now. That's not something that I would necessarily recommend you guys go for right off the bat. Obviously, you're going to want to level them up if you want to use them on your team just a little bit. But a lot of times, more often than not, you're going to have opportunities to level up your characters very quickly and very easily just by going through normal quests. So, for example, okay, this was my best friend when I first got into the app. Obviously, now I can get more experience much quicker and much easier than this. But right when you get the app, you go all the way to the bottom here, and you scroll up until you see Training in the Clouds. Now, Training in the Clouds gives you a lot of experience, and you get some rare items from it as well. It only costs you, let's see, 10 stamina. So most, if not all of you guys are going to want to take advantage of that right off the bat, because it's very easy. It's very quick. We'll just go ahead and we'll show you guys. I'll show you guys this, even though I won't really benefit from it. I don't have a team that I'm training right now. But it's very easy, a very quick and easy battle, and you get like 30,000 experience from it, and pretty much everyone can do it. So you guys are also going to see there's some decent rares there. We got some golds on 2 parts of those paths there, so we'll do that as well. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and fight Goku there. It's going to be just a normal Dragon Ball Goku. And we'll pop him like a grape. He's just going to be like, you know, just like that. So, moving on, just get random key, whatever. Doesn't even matter because Rose is just going to, just like a little grape. So, here's God Slicer on poor little Gohan. 415,000 damage. That's not good, Gohan. That's not good. 1,000 Zenny, so nothing great out of there. But 50,000 rather experience. So that's a lot of experience if you're right off the bat trying to get into the game. And you really want to go ahead and level up all of your characters. So right now we're going to go ahead and since those little silver ones there, the light silver ones, are going to be normal awakening medals. So we're going to go ahead and get the bronze one by moving forward, which is going to be a rare awakening medal. We'll move 2 so we can go ahead and get 1 just normal awakening medal because why not get it when you have the opportunity. And then gold is obviously the best, so we'll go ahead and grab that. And then we'll finish the level. We'll see what we got. Hopefully we grab a super rare awakening medal. There are quite a few different awakening medals you can get and you can't check them until you finish the actual level. It's not a lot of rank experience, just so you guys know. We're not going to get a super rare one, but we did go ahead and get an East Kai. I farmed a lot of those right now, so it's not very useful to me. But it might be good for you guys early on because a lot of the cards you're going to get early on are going to be using them. So, good stuff there. I think you guys can definitely use that. Training in the Clouds is perfect. Only once a day, guys. You can only do it once a day. But I would recommend doing it every day until you're getting more experience from just doing quests than you are just bothering with Training in the Clouds. So really quick, I just want to talk about summoning because a lot of people just summon right when they get 50 Dragon Stones. They'll go ahead and just pop a multi-summon, and then that's that, okay? And they get whatever units they get whenever, whatever banner is out, and they don't even take any consideration into what they can get from the banner, and if anything's even going to be good from it, if they have a decent chance at getting it. There are a lot of stats that go into it, and you can go and research them in different places, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. I just want to make sure that you guys know that not saving your Dragon Stones, especially once you get like a semi-decent team you can roll through quests with, is a huge mistake. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times there are going to be deals. Just recently we had a deal where we were able to get 1 multi-summon for 25 Dragon Stones, 1 for 30 Dragon Stones, and then following that we got 1 for 50 Dragon Stones. So for a total 3, okay, for three full multi-summons rather, we got only 105 Dragon Stones that we've spent, and then we got a free multi-summon for a 4th one, so it was totally free. So for 105 Dragon Stones, you're able to get 40 units, where you normally would have only got 21. So that's pretty crazy. That's a crazy deal. And on top of that, it was an awesome banner with awesome new units on it. And in particular, I do think that the odds were pretty decent as well on pulling these new units. So definitely something you guys want to keep an eye out for and save all of your Dragon Stones for if you're going to be a free-to-play player. Now, if you're planning on spending money on it, let's be real, you guys don't really need to worry about that because you can just buy Dragon Stones whenever you want to go ahead and do that. But they cost a lot of money, so a lot of people are going to be a little conservative about what they're spending all of their Dragon Stones on, and I definitely think you guys should be as well. Now, again, super rares are not something you should really take into account. A lot of times, the guaranteed SSRs, which are, again, the rare right before UR and right before LR that you're going to want to be going for, because you can't pull UR or LRs from actual summonings, but you can pull plenty of SSRs. And most of the time, more often than not, SSRs are going to be much more useful than your average SR. So, like, obviously, you guys got a few options here. You got the Super Type Dokkan Festival, the Extreme Type Dokkan Festival, and the 150 million Global Downloads Reach Dokkan Festival. And you can get Elder Kais with them. Now, Elder Kais, we'll talk about that later. That's something that you guys need to learn when you're way off in the distance and learning about super attacks and prioritizing Elder Kai usage and all that. But basically, you're going to want to consult the experts, so consult the people on the subreddit. Sort of go on reddit.com/r/DBZ Dokkan because it's going to give you a lot of information on, first of all, the stats of pulling whatever units you want, and second, if it's worth pulling on, because a lot of times the Japanese version of the game is going to be able to tell you what you're going to be getting in the near future in the global version of the game, which is what we're playing. So you guys are going to want to go ahead and check that out and just see if it's worth pulling on. Right now, I'd say these two are worth pulling on if you first get into the game. Definitely not this third one, though. But yeah, guys, that's going to be about it for the first beginner's guide to Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. If there's any concepts you guys want me to cover, anything at all, I have a lot more that I want to talk about, but I want to keep these reasonably short. And we'll talk about future content and future, just more complicated topics in future videos. So hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you back here for the next video. And until then, peace.